Hi everyone, thank you for being here today. We're excited to present to you Balance and Boundaries, Time Management for Teen Project Leaders. As student leaders, it can feel like we're constantly juggling a lot of responsibilities, school, clubs, family, maybe even part-time jobs. And on top of that, we're expected to lead projects and work with teams. That's a lot to manage. And without the right strategies, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. That's why we created this presentation to give you practical tools and techniques to manage your time, lead your teams more efficiently, and most importantly, avoid burnout. Whether you're new to leadership or already deep in team projects, we hope you will walk away today with helpful insights that you can apply right away. So, our agenda for this topic includes first, managing multiple commitments, school, clubs, home duties. Second, setting clear expectations with team members. Third, avoiding burnout with time boxing and buffer planning. Fourth, using weekly review techniques to reflect and realign. And finally, boundaries in team management on how to say no professionally. So let's begin with our first tip of how to manage multiple commitments. As a team leader, you would constantly juggling whether it's school, extracurriculars, family, or friends. And it is not a surprise that it can get overwhelming. Take note that it's important to recognize when you're reaching your limit. Know what you can handle and don't take on more than you realistically have time or energy for. Burnout is real and it can cause missed deadlines or even drop in motivation. So, let's talk about how to stay on top of everything without losing yourself in the process. Start by listing all of your tasks for the week, everything from school assignments to club duties and family obligations. Then, identify how important each task is. Is it urgent? Is there a deadline? Do you have to complete it right away? Once you have determined the priority and urgency, rank them. This helps you approach each task in an organized way and prevents last-minute scrambling. And remember, things change, so reevaluate as needed throughout the week. Now that you have prioritized, the next essential step is planning out your week or month. Choose what is best for you. Use whatever tool works best for you, as it could be a daily planner, a notebook, or something digital like Google Calendar. Mapping out your week or month gives you a full view of what's coming. It truly makes you see the big picture and help you prepare and make adjustments if delays happen. Every detail counts, so consider everything that will help you out. Once you can see everything laid out, it's easier to manage your time and reduce stress. Remember that this is subjective. Build your schedule in a way that it will work for you. Let's move on to tip number 2 on how to set clear expectations with team members. Good teamwork starts with clear communication. When you're working with a group, don't assume everyone is on the same page. Great teams takes time to build. As a team leader, define your expectations and goals early and make sure they're understood. Remember, cohesion doesn't happen overnight. You have to build it by being open to ideas, staying flexible, and making sure every team member feels respect and heard. Also, make time to revisit goals together and make adjustments when needed. One way to keep your team on track is by setting SMART goals. That stands for specific, be clear about what needs to be done or achieved. M, measurable, track your progress with results or numbers. Achievable, make sure the goal is realistic. Don't make goals you can't achieve with the resource you have. R, relevant, it should support the bigger picture. How does it relate it to the bigger goal? And T, time bound, set deadlines to stay focused. Know how much time you have so you don't fall behind. SMART or SMART goals create structures and clarity within the team. especially when you're balancing a lot of work at the same time. Lastly, encourage accountability within your team. A responsible team culture achieves success. Create a culture where people take responsibility not just for their own work, but for supporting one another. Supporting is important among team members. Take responsibility as a team leader by checking in weekly, whether it's through group chats, video calls, or in-person meetings. As mentioned earlier, communication is important. Celebrate wins and achievements together, big or small. And when mistakes happen, treat them as learning moments instead of failures. It helps boost confidence in the team. Accountability only makes you grow into a better leader and team. Now, let's move on to tip number 3, avoiding burnout. As team leaders, we juggle a lot: school, extracurriculars, and leadership duties. Without balance, it's easy to burn out. One of the best strategies to prevent that is using time boxing and buffer planning. Let's break those down. Burnout is emotional, mental, and physical exhaustions caused by prolonged stress. And unfortunately, it's very common among teenagers and leaders who often take on too much responsibilities. The signs of burnout include fatigue, procrastinations, irritability, and losing motivations. Recognizing these signs early can help us avoid more serious consequences. Time boxing is a simple but powerful technique. You assign a fixed amount of time to a specific task and stick to it. This helps you stay focused and avoid spending too long on one thing. It also makes it easier to say no to distractions because your schedule already has a set structure. Buffer planning means leaving intentional gaps between tasks in your schedule. Why? Because things don't always go as planned. Maybe a meeting runs late, or maybe you need a break. Buffers help you decompress and catch up without falling behind. When you combine time boxing and buffer planning, you create the perfect balance. Time boxing gives you structure and helps manage your workload. Buffer planning gives you the flexibility you need when life throws curveballs. Together, they are a powerful way to stay on top of your tasks without burning out. So, how to implement all of these techniques in one go? Here are the 3 tips that you can start using today. First, schedule your non-negotiables first, like school, meals, and sleep. Second, set realistic time blocks and always leave buffers in between so you have time to rest. And third, review your week every Sunday. Ask yourself what worked, what didn't. That way you can improve your schedules moving forward. Tip number 4 is all about reflection. A weekly review can act like a reset button for your brain and schedule. It helps you pause, check in with yourself, and make sure you're aligned with your goals. A weekly review is a 30 to 60-minute self-check that you do once a week. During this time, you reflect on how your week went, what you accomplished, and how you can adjust for the upcoming week. Think of it as quality time with your future self. Weekly reviews give you a chance to catch stress and burnout before they escalate. They help you stay focused on your goals, track your progress, and reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed. It's a simple habit that makes a big difference. Here's a quick 5-step method to try during your weekly review. First, celebrate your wins, big or small. It's worth to celebrate. Second, note challenges. What didn't work? What may work better? What are the things that you find difficult to do when you're doing your weekly review? Third, check progress. Are you on track right now? Where are you in the progress? Are you being slower or faster than the progress that you have been intended to do? Think about it. Fourth, reprioritize. What needs more focus? What task needs more attention? What task can you put behind compared to the task that you should put forward in terms of priority? And lastly, plan ahead. Build out your week with time blocks and buffers so you are capable of managing your time and being more flexible when needed. For example, let's say you are a youth leader planning a fundraiser when keeping with your school. You might celebrate sending out club's emails on time, recognize you forgot to prep for a quiz, and then adjust your schedule by adding study week for the next time. To really see the benefits, make your weekly review a consistent habit. Pick a regular time. Sunday nights work well for most people. Use tools like Google Calendars, Notes app, or reflection journal, and asking yourself prompts like, what energized me? What drained me? What's one thing I'll improve next week? These small practices lead to big improvements. You have made it to our last tip, and that is boundaries in team management on how to say no professionally. In a professional environment, the ability to set boundaries by saying no is a critical skill. Establishing clear boundaries supports sustained performance and organizational efficiency. With that, there are many reasons to say no. First, overcommitting occurs when individuals accept more tasks than their capacity allows. This practice leads to decreased work quality, increased error rates, and compromised timeline. Mitigating overcommitment by strategically declining tasks enhances resource allocation and maintains operational effectiveness. Taking on too much can negatively impact productivity. Dividing attention across too many assignments disrupt workflow continuity, extend completion time, and diminish overall output. Prioritizing and knowing when you have reached your task limit is an important step in saying no. Tasks assigned solely on the basis that they just need to get done often lack alignment with strategic objectives. When resources are diverted to low priority or non-value adding activities, organizational efficiency suffers. Evaluating the purpose and impact of requests ensure alignments with key performance goals. Chronic overextension is a leading contributor to professional burnout, characterized by emotional exhaustion, reduced engagement, and increased turnover risk. Proactively declining non-essential tasks reduce cognitive overload and support long-term employee well-being. Establishing the discipline to say no when necessary safeguards productivity, prevents burnout, and ensure alignment of efforts with organizational priorities. Cultivating the skills contributes to a healthier and more effective workplace, especially when you are dealing with your teammates as teenagers. Understanding when to say no is essential to keeping up with your workload but not falling behind on tasks. When individuals are overloaded with tasks, performance and accuracies are compromised. Identifying signs as overwork, such as declining quality or missed deadline, is critical. Delegating is one of the strategies to use when it is necessary to say no. If other team members possess the appropriate expertise or free time, redistributing responsibilities can improve workflow efficiency. Tasks that fall outside of your defined scope or work can introduce risks related to quality, compliance, and accountability issues. Recognizing when responsibilities extend beyond one's roles enables appropriate redirections of tasks, ensuring alignment with skill sets and contractual obligations. Tasks that are legally or ethically responsible requires immediate evaluation. If a request conflicts with guidelines, organizational policies, or professionals' ethics, it is necessary to challenge the task and escalate concerns to the appropriate people. And finally, personal health or the health of immediate family members must take priorities over work demands. Ignoring illness or critical care needs can result in prolonged health issues, increased absenteeism, and decreased long-term productivity. Without the resistance to say no and the different times when to say no, learning how to say no is crucial in staying professional but still getting the point across. Learning how to decline requests ensure that boundaries are respected without damaging relationships. First, be concise but polite. You should communicate clearly and keep your response brief. avoiding unnecessary details that can lead to misunderstanding. Why brevity is important, always ensure your tone remains respectful and professional. Be straightforward. State the reason why you are unable to fulfill the request. Providing context helps others understand your decisions, and that shows based on valid considerations, not unwillingness. Avoid rambling or straying off topic. Staying focused on the key points keeps the conversations productive. Avoid vague response such as maybe or I'll think about it, which can create confusion or false expectations. Say no directly. Pair with your clear reasons. This directness renews misunderstanding and establish reliable communication. Stay firm in your response. Once you have given your answers and reasons, maintain confidence. Do not allow yourself to be swayed or repeated requests or pressures to reconsider. Remaining consistent demonstrates professionalism and reinforces your boundaries. When available, offer alternatives. Suggesting a different time or checking if another person might be available to assist can help ensure the task is still completed without compromising your own responsibilities. Offering solutions shows cooperation and supports team objectives. By following these strategies of recognizing the reasons, when, and how will greatly help with your work efficiency and productivity. And that wraps up our presentation. Thank you so much for your attention. We hope you learned something valuable today that you can take into your leadership journey, whether it's time boxing to avoid burnout, setting smart goals with your team, or just saying no professionally to protect your boundaries. If you have any questions or want to learn more or just want to connect, feel free to reach out to info@totleaders.org. Once again, thank you for joining us, and we wish you all the best as tomorrow's leaders starting today.